Okay, let's talk about this Popeyes chicken sandwich. It is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is a Popeyes just around the corner. And I went and I tasted the chicken sandwich, and in my opinion, it's better than Chick-fil-A's. And I was in there, and this Popeye is not, this whole thing has jumped off so many conversations. Y'all acting like runaway slaves for going to get this Popeye's chicken sandwich. Well, people are ignoring that this was Popeyes going for that Wi-Fi bread. This started off through social media. This started off with Popeyes getting a few people to eat a few chicken sandwiches and say, oh man, this is better than this. That was it. And the big talk about this should show you the power of social media. Someone was coming to see me and they were like remarking, I passed by Popeyes and the line was wrapped around the building. Went and had breakfast not too long ago, and they had lines coming out both doors. Social media did this. Social media did that. That Wi-Fi bread, man. And there's been so many conversations about except how Popeyes pulled this off. They got a few positioned people, Kev on stage, and some other folks to do some reviews. That was it. And I was sitting in the Popeyes, and the guy was talking about they getting ready to do it again. They go let this die down, then they go do something else. And this should tell you the power of social media. Social media is incredible because when you can harness the power of social media, you could create some serious bread because this social media, because people talking about they got $23 million in free advertising. I think it's way more. Because if every Popeyes is like the one I saw, which is in this upscale neighborhood, it's way more than $23 million. They're running out of product. Every day they run out of sandwiches because people come in there and buy them all. They're creating scarcity. Like, whoa, if I want a chicken sandwich, I need to go there early. This is intention. It's intentional. This just didn't happen. What's up, Amanda? The DSLR Chronicles. Chris Monroe. Art Austin, they created a good product the masses like. I mean, social media, Kenny P, is crazy. L. Johnson, we don't use that word here. I'm one of the black folks who don't use the N word. There's a lot of us. Find it offensive. Anthony Bolton. The crazy thing about this whole Popeye situation is the sandwich isn't even new. It's old. I had the sandwich over a year ago. That's the ticket. The power of social media to turn something, a menu item that you already had, into something special. It's crazy. Let's see. What's going on? I was curious. Let's see. It's social media word of mouth. I was curious to see everyone's talking about this. I said I wasn't help Popeye make another cent. Mark Scott, attention is influence and good copywriting is valuable. Excalibur people buying these sandwiches by the double. This one person in front of me ordered 6 sandwiches. I was like, it's crazy. Same thing out there, Rod, for real estate. All right, Rob Marsh, appreciate that. Henry James, it's called Synergy, brand name plus online personalities. Rodney Rollins will be a franchise owner right now. Chris Monroe, that sandwich can't be that. The sandwich is pretty good. I went ahead and I tested it. It's actually pretty good. And, you know, I've had a lot of Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but that's not the point. The point is they got a few hand-picked online personalities to hype up this sandwich, and you have mayhem ensued. And whoever thought of this was brilliant. Because the Popeyes, I mean, usually I go in there because I like the crispy chicken. I never have to wait. Never had that's gone. There has been a line at this place all week long. Failure one, they sold out in my area in Alabama. Yep, blocks traffic sometimes. Oh, yeah. Appliance Boot Camp, Wi-Fi bread is crazy. Started 5 months ago. Have outgrown 2 buildings and meeting tomorrow with realtor to hopefully cash for a commercial building. All from the Wi-Fi bread. This is what I'm saying. This Wi-Fi bread is crazy because it scales so quickly. Because if Popeyes had used traditional marketing tactics, this wouldn't be happening because it has become a cultural thing where people are fighting about it. People are having fights. Well, those chicken sandwiches ain't that good. Y'all acting like slaves. Y'all better show up next November like this. I mean, it's become a part of the conversation. And Arby's is like, we don't run out of chicken sandwiches. They're bringing in Chick-fil-A. We don't run, you know, and they're fighting, which just adds more drama and texture to the original conversation. Oh man, influencers are definitely on the come up again. Pretty Chicks Invest. They use social media plus rebranding. Influencers are a little competition. Those tweets were petty as hell. I saw some of those tweets. Chris Monroe, this is why branding is so important. Because Popeyes has been a brand for decades. Example of proud branding. I mean, it's just crazy because, you know, Wi-Fi bread, for those of you who don't know, is the internet money, money that starts on the internet. All my money is Wi-Fi bread. I make my money purely on the internet. So everybody's trying to get into this. And the thing is, it's created a narrative that's going to go on. I mean, you got people out here fighting about these sandwiches. I mean, it's crazy. And then, you know, you got, I forgot, he's one of these Hotep dudes. He's talking about, wow, you know, this business getting all this money, black business. I'm like, you don't understand. If a black business could pull off this level of social media marketing, they would get similar results. So it isn't the fact that, you know, because everybody's coming like, man, this is crazy. You know, people should do this. People should do it. And they're missing the genius of whoever created this campaign. Anybody that can create a campaign that gets Arby's, Wendy's, and Chick-fil-A going back and forth on like as with these petty tweets. That's amazing. Charles Finney, they're using emotions to have people beefing. Meltdown, like really? Oh man, Chris Monroe, I even heard that Wendy's is bringing back their chicken nuggets to get back into the battle. Raw Honest Tea, Chick-fil-A said they're going to start selling buckets. Really? I mean, they really did an amazing job. Raw, those sandwiches are 70% of your daily sodium intake. Yeah, Riza Islam, green is the new black, hoteps, rock for real estate. That sandwich is going to make your hips big. Excalibur, some black businesses have gotten similar results. There's a black cosmetics business that got great results from going viral on IG. I don't know what's going on with Steak and Shake. The ones out here are going out of business. You know, like essentially, I will put out some stuff today. I'm thinking about putting out this mentoring boot camp where I'm going to coach people in a group. Like the one-on-one, that's just too much time. Will the Super Soaker fit into this narrative? The Super Soaker came out before social media and went crazy. So that was great marketing behind that. Yes, it's crazy. Fights over chickens is disturbing. Henry James, you're a brilliant man. Don't be surprised if you see copycat online campaigns. They are coming. How can we profit from what's going on? You need to have a business player. It's too late to jump in. You need to have a business up and running and established. They don't even have lettuce, tomato, or cheese. Mentor Shelley, the marketing is genius. Got people competing over their products. The promoters. See, it's not the sandwich. I've tasted the sandwich. I had the sandwich. The sandwich is good. The sandwich is legit. It's the marketing more so than the sandwich because the sandwich is not new. The sandwich has been on the menu for a minute. So it's the marketing. Oh man, Art, you can steak and shares. You can get a steak for $10,000. Pretty Chicks Invest. I see a few channels capitalize them by doing Mookie Bangs comparing sandwiches. This is similar to the Krispy Kreme craze a few years back. I think all that stuff's coming because I was in Popeyes the other day and the guy who was talking about it, they got something else planned after this. I don't know if it's too late to purchase stock because there's, let's see. What is Popeyes? Well, let's see. Popeyes Louisiana chicken. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen for those who are interested. $17. to the use of social media influencers. If you're anybody with a YouTube channel, a show, you're an influencer. I mean, like right now, I could go ahead and say buy X book, and a certain number of you will go out. It's just crazy what happened. Mark Scott, there's a real market for a good chicken sandwich when you market it right. Man, I'm just, because one of the things I'm doing is looking at all of the fights that are happening online about a chicken sandwich. I mean, I've had people like post, because, I did my review and I had some people tag it like, we acted like crazy runaway slaves and other stuff. But I'm asking myself, what made me get in my vehicle and go to Popeyes and get a sandwich? Now, the thing is, I usually go to that Popeyes like once a week, but it was Kev on stage. It was Kev and this other dude eating these sandwiches. And that made me go in there and order a sandwich. So I think part of that is looking at what influences people. Because right now, if I was to take the camera, there would be a line out the door. Because where this Popeyes is, it's kind of inconvenient because it sits on a little island. But right now, there will be people through the drive-thru, and there will be people lining up at the door right now. And this is because you got to look at the brilliance of this campaign and the results. Made 23 million from using Black Twitter, which is free advertising. I don't know about that number, and I don't know because now I don't know about the other Popeyes, but the Popeyes over here, there was a bunch of white people in line, so I don't know about this Black Twitter thing. I want to see what Raza Islam is eating then. It's funny because you'll take because one of the reasons that so many people have jumped on this is because it's so big. It's spawned many different conversations. You've got a lot of people talking about this. Like, I wouldn't do this for no chicken sandwich. It ain't that good. It can't be that good. So there are some people who will, regardless how good the sandwich may be, they just gonna say it ain't no good and they ain't gonna eat it. Stephanaz, I'm looking at how can I come up with a product that's successful. Remember, the product isn't new. The product has been on the menu for a minute. What they did is say, what do we have that we could create a marketing campaign behind and freshen it up? Let's go ahead with this chicken sandwich. And whoever it was, idea was to hire some people to do these comparisons online. It was just pure brilliance. My boy has a small fitness channel, and he mentioned let's see. A quick post workout after with the Mentor Shelley, all the Popeyes in diverse neighborhoods are packed. Espion LaRue. I'm not even a chicken sandwich girl, but those Popeye sandwiches are hella good. It is what it is. I see all kinds of folks hating on Popeyes because they're winning at the moment. Will Melvin, my chick was driving past one and texted me she saw a line wrapped around the building. I knew some fuckery was going on. Popeyes food thing. Ask yourself what was in the marketing, because you know, it ain't the food, it was the marketing. Brother in Bayou, I tried almost a year ago. Even the people talking smack about Popeyes sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, are still selling the sandwich. These curious friends when we go out and try it. Oh, it's bigger than the Pet Rock. There was a 45-minute wait at Popeyes, scratching my head. The class packs between the companies make it feels like Tupac versus Biggie or Chick-fil-A versus Popeye. And see, the beef over the chicken actually is good for business. It was major. Kev on stage to love it because he's a Chick-fil-A ambassador? Really? Oh, I'm quite sure he got paid a pretty bit. Some people are driving 2+ hours out of town to get the Popeyes chicken sandwich. I don't think Popeyes is operating on the McDonald's playbook. Let's see. Smitty753. When I see the Popeyes chicken sandwich first, them getting into beef with Wendy's. I mean, it's been crazy. Rob Marsh. I didn't want the sandwich until I saw my boy mention it after a workout. Now that's peer-to-peer marketing. Seems like they did the same thing Lil Nas did. Like, because if you don't know, Lil Nas, he actually seeded a lot of stuff online. The dude worked his butt off. So this is clear. Marketing is everything. Marketing is the difference between serving a few people and making a little money, or serving a lot of people, therefore making a lot of money. Pick 3 World, it'll be finished when it's finished. I'm not putting a timetable on it. I got a lot of stuff going on. The marketing is great. Frisco's crossword, Denton, Texas, all sold out. Referrals said, I thought they were giving away free food when I saw this all week. It's just very interesting that when you have brilliant marketing, and this is what we got to look at. Take a play out of the Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie playbook. That guy, he was funny because I can still remember his video. Patty, Patty, woo! And with him singing Patty hooks, he made that pie. And this is once again this Wi-Fi bread of social media marketing. It's going to get stronger. Because one of the things, like right now, I'm taking a Facebook advertising course, and they talk about this with creating your ads. Because you just cannot buy this. That doesn't work. You got to create a story. You got to create a narrative. And you want to create an ad that's so good that people share it. How we going to make lots of money using our free marketing? Raheem White, you need to have a business. Look, everybody that's trying to like, hey, you don't have a business. You don't have a product. You have nothing to sell. You ain't going to be able to get in on this because you're not positioned to make money. You got to be positioned to make money. Ray Gunn, I haven't seen any commercials about the sandwich. There are no commercials. This is 100% a social media event. There are no commercials. Someone said, hey, let's get some social media influencers to do X, Y, and Z, and the rest is history. Smitty753. I don't recommend any social media courses. I recommend actually paying attention to what people are doing because, Kev on Stage was a big win. But, for the folks who want to capture some of this Wi-Fi bread, you got to start a business, man. You got to be out here killing dragons. Like, I'm asking myself, it's like, okay, you go to this Popeyes. What made you get in your car, stand in line to get this chicken sandwich? And it was the Kev on Stage review. Mark Scott, attention is the ultimate commodity now on the internet. Absolutely. It's cheaper to pay social media influencers than to make commercials. Sometimes. Some of these social media influencers are getting 250,000 up to millions to do what they do. Indio Champs, a black bodybuilder on YouTube, works out with Jim Jones. Okay. Yeah, there are no commercials, Johnny Walden. Nobody watches TV anymore unless it's sports. Old people still watch television. You can still reach old people through commercial to traditional marketing. You can still reach, my last house had a pool, and I needed the pool clean, and some people that did the direct mail. It was on the counter. I called them. You call it social media. I call it social programming. Could be. Yeah, tall guy. I don't really see the big appeal with him because all that legendary, it's just a whole bunch of fast talk, but people seem to love this dude. Anthony Manning, I yet to see a picture of the sandwich, but I hear everything about it. Will Melvin. The person who figures out how to replicate the Popeyes chicken viral marketing with consistent results become a billionaire. Absolutely. Old people be watching CBS on TV, Two Broke White Girls. I only know that the sandwich is good because the customer shared a piece and told me about the fight that ensued during his visit to Popeyes. Get that Wi-Fi bread, man. If you can get Michael Jordan to review, I don't think if Michael Jordan had reviewed the chicken sandwich, I don't think it would have had the same power because this is something that's happened. People who have become social media influencers have more power and clout than traditional movie stars. This is why a lot of movie stars and famous people are playing catch up because they've seen relatively Jenny in her bedroom in high school. She's got like 50 million followers. And you're like, what the hell? So I don't know if that would have worked with Michael Jordan. I think the Kev on Stage, because the thing is, how does social media marketing works? It's having a relatable person recommend a product or service to you. Michael Jordan ain't relatable. So I would think, because Kev on Stage, he has his audience. He has a certain level of fame, but he's be cutting up a fool. He be cutting up. So these are some of the things that you got to look at, because with a chicken sandwich, where the social media marketing start for each sandwich, you gotta. I think the thing is with social media is you gotta be aware. You gotta know what the vibe is. Even Will Smith got a channel up pushing up his water company. Will Smith has a YouTube channel. The Rock has a YouTube channel. So you got a lot of people who are taking advantage of this Wi-Fi bread, because I would not be surprised that by the end of the month that Popeyes added like $100 million to their bottom line. I wouldn't be surprised, because like I said, I go to this Popeyes, so I know what the traffic pattern is. The traffic pattern for the Popeyes went from, it's been about 50x. That location's getting 50 times more people than it used to. And if you multiply that by all their locations, holy moly. Will Melvin, Michael Jordan has personality for potato. It would have never worked. What Mike can do is give social proof to relatable people. That's what his role would be. What's up, Wayne? Yeah, because I don't think this would have worked with Michael. Because, see, Michael is like superhuman. Michael Jordan is almost mythical. You need regular, everyday people, relatable people like Kev on stage. Kev is famous, but, he ain't over the top famous, and he's very personable. You also have to know how to tap into human nature. Exactly. And also the Jordan brand is 20 years old. So it's become an iconic brand. So there's a lot more to, selling shoes than selling chicken sandwiches. Yeah, Popeye's making millions, because I would say the traffic that Popeyes used to get in about 2 weeks, they're getting that in a day. I mean, I want you to really think about that. And I was there, and one of the ladies was like, I'm gonna miss my bus. The employees are not happy about this. They working their asses off for the same money. They're like, I ain't getting no raise. Smith is a ratchet preacher. Dang, I never thought Kev was a preacher, but okay. Fashion Nova, they tapped into it. What's up, Diddler Top? Because the thing is, you got to be able to be very relatable. And like, with Edward said about the Kardashians, you ever notice that Kim really doesn't speak that much? She just sits around and looks pretty. They only got that traffic on Tuesdays with that stupid Tuesday special. That must be Fashion Nova. The employees are going to social media as well. The Popeye stores are intentionally misspelling words on when they post. They're sold out. Everyone shares the signs, creating more free advertising. There was some science on that a lot of copywriters are intentionally putting misspelled words in there so you don't think that it's something that's super slick that was actually created by a person. Yeah, the employees are not happy, man. Johnny Walton, that's why it's better to be an owner with a money rolls in it like this. You don't have to worry about the race. Pretty much. Oh, okay, Smitty. Burger King owns Popeyes now, really? Kev taps into the church audience, a draw from that. What's his base audience? No, Popeyes has a Tuesday special. Well, the Popeyes around the corner has been swamped all week. And based on this stream, the same thing's happening to Popeye locations across the country. Smithy, the Kardashians' mom. She is an organizer. She's a fixer. Mark Scott, anyone can be a star online if they're interesting and entertaining enough. True that. True that. Popeyes has been expanding in my area for a while. Purdue Farms, Tyson's Chickens, the truckers making deliveries, pretty much. Oh, okay. Oh man, I mean, like I said, I went to breakfast not too long ago, well, a while ago, and they were already lined up. It's Sunday, man. But this is just the power of social media marketing. And the thing is, if you can tap into social media marketing, this is what Grant Cardone has done. I remember in 2009, Grant Cardone's channel was 100% different. And he started tapping into social media. See how the area swamp Popeyes? That's funny. Cool on canvas custom apparel. I say high tides raise all boats unless they're already busted. I mean, it's just interesting to see this phenomenal event because I've like literally on my Facebook page, I did my review. It's got like 75, 80 comments. I got people fighting. The chicken sandwich ain't this good. It ain't the chicken sandwich. The chicken sandwich had to be good enough to pass muster. It didn't have to be the best chicken sandwich in the world. It had to match the narrative that the social media marketing suggested. And that's what it did. Will Green, they putting some in those chicken sandwiches. No, they ain't, man. No, they ain't. I think when people see this level of success, it's startling because, Popeyes was already successful. It was a store. It was franchising. They were already making money. Now they making more money, more money, more money. And we will see when and if this trend crests. Because, speak of magic, you take an item that you already had on your menu, you put some marketing behind it, and it gets super special and makes all this money. So that's the thing I'm looking at because, like, take Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone had a channel. He was, he changed it. He started doing stuff to get attention. And this is something that I have been negligent in. He has the Rolls, the G-Wagon, the plane, the watches. You must get someone's attention before you can sell something to them. This should just be facts. You got to get that attention. Beautiful one, you cracking me up. This is how I feel about Beats headphones. That was another social media deal. Except they had a little star power behind them. Because Beats, people still paying. I think Five Guy burgers are better than most restaurant burgers. Pretty much, I like Five Guys. Mark Scott, Chick-fil-A might consider opening up on Sunday to keep up now. They won't. Chick-fil-A makes more money per store than any other restaurant, and they're closed on Sundays. Chick-fil-A has their own customer base. And we about to get into college football season, so they'll be good. Rock and roll diva, Popeyes can't compare to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, especially with, the employees. Because Chick-fil-A employees look like they just left the halfway house. Most of them do. So that's something that, that's not an easy fix right there. Smitty, the quality of beats portrayed isn't even the best. But the marketing, that's what we're talking about. The marketing. When you are the top of mind, when you command most attention, you don't have to be that good to win. Best burger I ever had was the Cheesecake Factory. Rashard Madison, it wasn't sales. There was this video between Jordan Bedford, the Wolf of Wall Street, and Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a marketer. He's not a salesman. He knows how to market because, like with this YouTube channel, whenever I get X amount of views, when my views go up, my sales go up because I've gotten more attention, even though the message is the same. So if you can ramp up your attention, you will make more money. Social media, man. I believe that. I mean, Five Guy burgers are good because they're always hot and fresh. In y'all's opinion, which restaurants have good quality? But I mean, let's just go back to the crux of it. Good marketing can change everything. Like this hard cookie I have here. If there was substantial marketing behind this cookie could be $1 million brand. So this is why, I'm taking the Facebook ads course. And I'm learning so much because they don't just go like, hey, this is how you create an ad. This is why you create an ad. I mean, it's this Wi-Fi nation, man. This Wi-Fi bred nation. Millennials, 70% of their millennials getting their news from social media. Look, social media determine the outcome of a presidency. Think about that. Russians bought some Facebook ads and targeted the right people. No, that's an Arby's cookie. Marketing is not selling. Hey, I got this cookie. That's marketing. Marketing lets you know where it is. This cookie is delicious. The marketing lets you know what the promise is. Selling. Hey, man, I got this cookie. It's so tender and moist. It's going to make your mouth feel good. So marketing is saying, hey, we have this. This is the promise that it's going to give you. And marketing and selling are distinctly different. This reminds me of Purple Cow by Seth Godin. She made a video watching guys play basketball while drinking. I'm going to tell you another product that has some fancy marketing. I know, the famous Amos. All right. Remember when the rollerblading craze was huge? There was this girl, I read this in Inc. magazine many, many years ago. and she was hired by the company that made these rollerblades, and they typically sold them to high school teams. So she got some really hunky guys. She fit them doing some cool tricks. Boom, rollerblading took off. You had women doing rollerblading. It's just marketing, man. So, this is what launched the rollerblade deal. Let's see. Roller blade. Because this was a long time ago. And, yeah, that's going to be hard to find. It's going to be very hard to find. No, Armac, it wasn't. The Russian thing was real. This was verified by our security agencies. But once again, and this is something else too. If you have a company, you have a product or service, you got to be marketing during this recession. You can't sit on your hands, because if you don't get their attention, how can they buy your product? That's one of the issues I have. I mean, I've got great products. I just don't have enough attention. And when I get enough attention, like sometimes my YouTube channel will spike and I get a corresponding increase in sales. What changed? I got more attention. Damn rollerblades, I got pulled to that fat. I still have the scars. Popeyes employees are mad. Man, they mad, man. I mean, first of all, let's go ahead. Like, Popeyes employees are nothing like Chick-fil-A employees. So like this lady, she was talking about, I'm gonna miss my bus. Most of Popeyes employees are poor. I mean, most, they work fast food. So, I mean, you got to think about it. You were making $8 an hour serving 10 chicken sandwiches a day. Now you're still making that $8 an hour, but you're serving 250 chicken sandwiches a day, if not more. I'm just putting these numbers out there. So you got to work harder for the same money. That's typically not happy. That doesn't make people happy right there. Doesn't make people happy at all. I had rollerblades as a kid in the late 80s and early 90s. I lived in the hood, so the gravel ate up my wheels. Good Lord. Gunja, so marketing is getting attention, selling this like, I know you got this problem. I have a solution. Kinda. T-Tone Fitness, thanks for the $10 super chat. Because one of the things you got to understand is every business needs marketing. How many of you heard of Dan Locke? Dan Locke's YouTube channel has gone through a metamorphosis. He gets more attention. He's making more money. Toto One, I don't think they're going to do that, man. I don't think they're going to do that. But this is why social media is just going to get greater. Because social media, because the thing is, social media is on your phone. You don't have to sit down and watch television. Your phone's always with you. And once you get to a certain level of critical mass where everybody's talking about it, whether you want to know about it or not, you will know about it. Grant versus Wolf of Wall Street interview was painful to watch. You could tell Grant was out of his element because Grant is a marketer. Matt Gresham, they pumping out more chicken sandwiches, still getting paid the same per hour. This is why you need to own your business, people. True that. True that. I really don't have any marketing courses, Stefan. Thanks for the $5 super chat. When we get to the YouTube course, when I start working back on that, that's going to be the one. G Money, beans, greens, tomatoes. That's funny. Grant basically saying the average ain't working 10x that. Folks know 10x ain't working. Plus Chick-fil-A paying 12. I didn't know Chick-fil-A paid that much. Because I could tell, it is funny, like the Popeyes is maybe a mile from Chick-fil-A on the same side. And the difference between employees is so distinct. Because a lot of these Chick-fil-A employees at this one, which is near Chastain Park, their moms and dads are doctors and attorneys. So they're already socialized to be different. What caused Dan to take off? Dan revamped his YouTube channel. Diddler Top, just watched a Netflix show about how the presidency was affected. Facebook. It's called The Great Hack. Watching the show carefully actually teaches you how to advertise on Facebook. Pretty much. They pay them $12.50 an hour down here in Nashville. Chick-fil-A cares about their employees. Well, we're getting into the weeds here because the thing is, you got to look at the marketing because, this is fantastic because everybody here knows what I was talking about. I want you to think about that. You know how hard that is to accomplish, to get that type of name recognition, to know, like Donald Trump. When Donald Trump ran for the presidency, everybody knew who he was. No one's like, who's this dude? Everyone already knew who he was. That is a hard thing to do. Prince, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars, Mariah Carey. When you get this type of name brand recognition, you'll never be broke. Never. Jigga Jinx is probably the best job to have in high schools besides working in high fashion where I live. Okay. Because I know that Chick-fil-A, and it's funny because there's another Chick-fil-A further down here on Roswell Road, and that's like the hood Chick-fil-A, and this is the little Richie Rich Chick-fil-A. So you get that going on as well. Because once again, the lesson that you should pull from this is if you have a business, you have a product, you have a service, you need to be marketing. This marketing move by Popeyes, you're not going to duplicate that. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe you will. But whatever business you have, you need to invest money in marketing. Yeah, who's Cory Booker? I mean, pretty much. A lot of people like Cory who? Several friends from college are managers making $72 a year but started out at $14 an hour. That's different. So, I mean, because we're in the recession and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And the companies that are going to make it are going to be marketing. They're going to be spending money on marketing. They're going to be buying Facebook ads. And Facebook ads, I feel, will get cheaper because there's going to be less people buying them because they don't have the money. Because you're going to have this vicious cycle. Because the thing is, like, I'm getting ready to start marketing. Well, I've already started this month with Facebook ads. I created a like campaign that's got my Facebook page up to 8,000 likes. And then I'm running a free book offer to the people who like the page. And then I'm going to start email marketing them, because one of the things I learned in the Facebook course is the chances of you writing an ad that's going to, I want you to think of Facebook ads as a marathon. You have one ad that does one thing, then you have another ad that does another thing, then you have another ad that does another thing, and then you still got to have good copy, good emails. It's a whole process that you got to put together. When is the president going to announce we're in a recession? Never. He ain't going to never say that, because he loses his leverage with that, man. He loses a lot of leverage. But, for everybody that's got a business, you got to market. And marketing, you got to do digital marketing. Like if your audience is older, you could do Facebook. I mean, you could do billboards. You could do TV commercials. You could do radio commercials. There's this one dentist, I remember the name, it's Grateful Dental, and they run these ads on the radio station. And they kept running these ads for about 4 years, which tells me they were working. Pretty life, writing great copy is my issue. Get some books and start working on that. Because what I've learned is you can get attention with the Facebook ads, but you still got to convert this attention to dollars. And this is where your other skill sets come in. Smitty, the Boondocks did an episode on people going crazy over the chicken. Everybody ended up getting the chicken. That someone ran that on Facebook the other day. Boom's back is coming. Yeah, I don't even know why the Boondocks actually stopped. That must have been political, because it was a great show. But once again, you guys are going to have to really, really start marketing your products and services with reckless abandon. You're going to have to get into this digital marketing. You're going to have to get into this Wi-Fi bread money. Example, marketing ad where someone is held at gunpoint at their house and the victim saying, I should have got a gun. Great marketing for gun? No. No. It's got to be more subtle than that. You got to show that someone breaks into this chick's house, she pulls the gun on them, and you see the police arresting the perp. That's a good thing. Aaron Magruder left the show over creative differences. Now he's coming back. Okay. I didn't know why he left. Yeah, the Boondocks was very good. It was a ratchet with a point if you look. Remember when they did that, they got Tyler Perry? That was crazy. That was crazy when they got Tyler Perry. But once again, you got to learn how to do digital marketing. It is the most powerful and effective way to reach a bunch of people quickly and efficiently and cheaply. Because I've been digging into some of these white papers where these companies spent $1.3 million on Facebook ads, but they sold $10 million in product. Because once you start to scale your ads to a high number, because I haven't spent a lot of money. I spent $1,300 for the 8,100 likes, and I've got the cost shifted on the free ebook campaign because it was at 20 cents, and then it shifted up to 40 cents. So I got to let this ride out, and this is one of the things that you got to do. Once you start marketing, you got to let stuff go for 3 days to a week to get some numbers, because the way the Facebook system works, you got to let it ride. Tyler Perry was so mad he called the company and complained about that episode. Wayne Johnson, Geico's not the best insurance, but their marketing is over the top. So easy a caveman can do it. I mean, once again, and it's about getting attention. Because one of the things that I'm learning from taking this Facebook course is things that you think like, you take this course, you're going to get these benefits. People have heard that before and they tune that out. So you got to come at it a different way. You got to come at it a much different way. Hey, woodchucks, quit chucking my wood. I love those caveman commercials. Anthony Johnson, do you think Google ads is more of a longevity play compared to Facebook ads? What if a new social media site takes over? As someone who's run both, you cannot get to the pinpoint accuracy with Google ads that you can with Facebook ads. However, Google ads properly executed with a YouTube channel is nothing but bank. Those progressive commercials with Flo be so boring. They're trying to spice that up a little bit. So, they're trying to do something. There's a lot of people who think that marketing and selling are because marketing is getting attention for your product or service, because you can't go into the sales mode until you get their attention. I remember in my football practice, Geico had a plane running advertising that was who's watching my money stack. Here's some marketing that work. When I was in Miami on the beach, they'll have these planes that fly over the beach where no people are. Like, what's her name? She's the Cardi B. She was performing at this hotel, and they was just marketing to the people on the beach in a very simple and yet effective manner. The promoted plugs. I had to run a video on the Popeyes sandwich. Got to ride the wave. I didn't even know Nationwide was an insurance company. I mean, once again, like, everyone can agree that Geico commercials were probably the funniest commercials. Progressive with Flo was Nationwide, and then the Allstate guy, Marvin's Marketing Madness. I don't know why people are so upset about the Popeyes thing. I sat back and watched it and like, this is genius. I think this is something that Popeyes stoked, because this is something I saw on Facebook a long time ago. My posts that were very controversial had lasted way longer than my regular post, because people would be coming in. So I think they stoked some controversy to keep things rolling, because I remember I put up a post. That sucker got to like 180 comments. And I was like, where are all these people coming from? And where are you for my other more insightful educational post? I mean, they'll get like 3, 4, 5 likes, maybe 6 comments. Then they die. Oh, don't forget the general. Nationwide and all states suffered after Hurricane Katrina. Don't forget the general. Paul Brown, they do that every day here in Destin's Panama City, Pensacola during tourist season with the planes along the beach. Yeah, I saw it. They kept going by. Smithy 73. What form of advertising besides TV and radio will become outdated in your opinion? TV and radio are not outdated for a certain sector. If you want to reach an older population, radio, TV, billboards, direct mail, that still works. So it's very important for you to know who your audience is and where they live and how they receive information. You know, I wouldn't say radio and TV are outdated. They just don't have the mass effectiveness that they used to have because, you know, if you're trying to reach millennials and you're advertising on TV, that's going to fail. Most of them don't watch TV. They watch Netflix. They watch, you know, millennials like to watch stuff at their discretion. They don't want to have to sit around. Remember, I grew up in an era where new season of the show, you had to wait almost a year to see that show. Now with Netflix, you got to wait a few weeks. So you got a lot of stuff that's going. I mean, once again, depending on where you are, everything works. It still works. It's more of what medium your target audience. Yeah, pretty much. Kevin Trudeau's nighttime infomercial sold $53 million in books. Rod for real say just drove by Popeyes. It's packed and the drive-thru is in the street. Let's see. Marvin's marketing. Do you subscribe to the narrative that black people can make other black people rich just like they did Popeyes with the sandwich? I would say no. I would also say no because there's not enough black people with businesses. That's the problem. There ain't enough of us out here in the Wi-Fi bread game. I will say if you have a black business, you have product and service, and you have a great social media campaign, you'll make money. But, you know, black people as a whole, we have the lowest rate of business development and business opening of any other group. And it shows. Smitty, I'm 24, I'm a millennial, and this is before generations of Z. So I remember like analog in the old forms because I was born in 1995 was kind of halfway point. Johnny Walton, you only had so many channels, just 3 channels. I remember that. Caribbean people, especially for hurricane and natural disasters, use radios. Amanda P. I'm going to tell you one business never going to serve for church. God is know, wow, this Popeye thing has completely eclipsed the Impossible Whopper. Will Melvin, yep, 1 in 108 on the business. So, I mean, that's one of the things because we, as a group, don't have enough black businesses. And that's one of the reasons I talk about building businesses on this channel and go through the process. Because, I mean, if 25% of us own our businesses, woo, that would change so many things. One in 10 Asians own a business, 1 in 34 whites, 1 in 54 Hispanics, 1 in 108 blacks own the business. It shows. Pretty life. Do black audience respond well to email marketing? Yep. Yeah, the Impossible Wafer got blown out the water. So once again, and and speaking of your audience, what kind of black audience do you have? Do you have a hip hop, ghetto, hood based audience? Do you have progressive blacks? Because, like, someone that mentioned the N word. Whenever I hear that stuff, I instantly start tuning that crap out. I'm just, the same thing that Lamar, Jody listening to and like and appreciate. It ain't gonna work on me. Like with my real estate, I gotta do some more research and I gotta start going to in meetings to talk to other investors. But I'm going for a niche that's a little high end because that would be me. When I was looking for rental properties, I was looking for certain things. So I know what I'm looking for, and I know what people like me are looking for, and I know people like me will pay the money. What's your opinion on hip hop chicken uprising? What's hip hop chicken? I didn't even know anything about this. I knew nothing about it. But I mean, you should take this as a bona fide lesson in marketing, because I'm going to look at it. I'm going to keep looking at it. I'm going to take it apart because, as someone said in the chat, anyone online can become famous. There's this the special here on YouTube. So when I went viral, I think there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they talk about these people doing this one little thing, then they just blow up. Marvin's Marketing Madness. If the sandwich was terrible, it would have sold like Burger King's taco. Yeah, that taco was nasty, man. It was nasty. Hip hop chicken on every corner. I know nothing about it. Yeah, man, that taco was nasty, man. They should have left the taco alone. They should have left the tacos to Taco Bell. But, I'm going to keep looking at this because, if you own a business, you shouldn't be looking at it as that chicken sandwich ain't that good. You should be looking at how did they do this? That's what you should be looking at. You should be looking at how it was deployed. What did they do to keep it going up? Like the Wendy's Twitter has always been a little dark and trash talking, and they got into it on Twitter. That is really cool. So as a business owner, you got to pay a lot of attention to marketing and advertising. Like word of mouth, that's great if you can get it, but nothing beats a well-organized digital marketing campaign. Whether you have something like Popeyes, or you have a well-paid campaign where you spend $1 million, but you make 10, for every dollar you spent, you got 9 back. That's crazy. Because you're doing good if you spend $1 and you get 3 back. You're doing good. Because a lot of people run Facebook ads and lose their butts. But once again, people talking me to how you got to start a business. You got to get in the game, because if you don't have no business, you have no product, you have no service, getting this knowledge without having anything to apply it to, it's going to be fruitless. Black Perseus, they actually had some influencers do reviews of their chicken sandwich against Chick-fil-A sandwich. That was it. Yes, Johnny Wallen, because once you start to understand what you need to be looking at in terms of starting your business, because you got people who are all caught up on the wrong thing. Like, this is really important, because if you can nail down the marketing and you do everything else wrong, you still gonna make money. But you miss the marketing and do everything else right, you're gonna make little to no money. Smitty753, I'm sorry, a better word to say, hip hop culture is the language of millennials. It's the language of a sector of millennials. There's a lot of white, Hispanic, and Asian millennials who don't really listen to that stuff. Look at the number of people, young white people, who listen to country music. They're not listening to hip hop. So this is one of the things that you will have. Because, apparently, Popeyes knew that they had a bigger audience than they thought. Like, who doesn't like a tasty chicken sandwich? And they went with that. They went hard with it. All right. I don't think I mentioned this, but you can get the link below is 50% off Hustlers Kung Fu products. Money Lessons is the code. This ends tonight at 11:59. So once again, you can get 50% off of anything at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com using the code Money Lessons. And this ends tonight. So with that, I will see you guys later.